Hi everybody, my name is Amanda Boyles. I am the Angler Education Coordinator with Oregon Department of Fish and Wildlife, and I'm here to talk to you guys about halibut fishing rigs. Halibut fishing is supposed to be fun and experimental. I have 3 different types of things rigging here to show you guys, and then we're going to make our own. So this is the one that I typically use. I don't even know what the name is for it, but it's a basic double hook circle rig, bottom fishing rig. People use spreader bars a lot, where the weight is attached on one side and then your bait, typically a double hook with some herring, is on the other side. Bounce that along the bottom. And this crazy thing was shown to me from a local bait shop in Salem, and this is used for long leader. So this kind of gets drug along the bottom with the current, and put a bunch of bait on here and catch a fish. A lot of times people use herring, shad, squid is a really good one. Basically whatever is legal, sticks to the hook, and gives off a lot of fat is perfect for halibut. Some typical things that you might want before you just go and make your own. Strong enough line. I use 250-pound mono leader, and this is great. You can bring the fish up, you can hold the fish with it as long as it's hooked good with a circle hook. You're good to go. I like glow color hoochies. You can pick halibut, like I said, it's supposed to be fun. Use whatever colors you like. These scampy tails or jigs, they give a lot of action with the tail. They're really fun too. I have the best luck with white. It's supposed to be fun. Try everything. Crimps and swivels and your corkscrew swivels. This is what's going to either attach your leader to your line, or attach leader to leader, or leader to swivel. Make sure you have a really nice pair of crimpers. This is very important when you're attaching your line together. And okay, most important part, your hooks. So these are size 15 or 16 aught. I typically use 16. 15's fine. The circle hook is, in my opinion, the best for bottom fishing, just because, or halibut fishing in general. You don't have to worry about setting the hook when you're super, super deep, and the fish pretty much honestly hooks itself. So let's make our own halibut rigs. As I said before, important thing to note, you don't have to do just any one thing. Experiment with stuff, have a good time. Try what works for you. Something might work in a different spot than would work in another one. That's all right. But, so what we need for this rigging today is 2 circle hooks. I like to use 1 scampy tail or jig tail, and I really like these glow hoochies. I will need 6 large crimps, some 250-pound mono that I already cut, I'm sorry, and 2 large barrel swivels and 1 large corkscrew swivel. Important to note with these swivels, they need to at least be able to withstand 150 pounds, I believe these are. Anyway, all right. So, oh, also, two other things. This is a cheat when it comes to putting line through a scampy tail. A lighter and a metal rod that is about the width of your line. Some crimpers and your wire cutters. So when it comes to crimping your wire, cutting your wire, you always want to cut it at an angle. And we can get a closer shot later. You will cut it at an angle because when you run it through your crimps, you want it to run through there smoothly. If you cut it off at a blunt point, it might not flow through. So I need 2 pieces of mono that are each about 27 inches long. And this part, if you want to make them longer or you want to make them shorter, try this, or try it, but this is what I have found to work for me, and it doesn't get everything all tangled up. You want this piece to be about 10 inches from, I say eye to eye of the hook to eye of the swivel here. And this one you want to be about 2 to 3 inches longer than that. So from eye to eye, about 13. And same exact thing for this one, 10 and about 13. So what I will start out with first is I'll show you the fun way to thread line through your scampi tail. We're going to start from the bottom up. So you take your wire, and you only need to really get the top hot. I was going to bring a torch, but I think this is a little safer, but please use a torch if you can. So I had to clip it to a blunt end just so it wasn't going to create its own path, but I'm going to cut that back at an angle again. Okay, so now we're going to put our hook on. So crimp first, slide that through, then your circle hook. Now I will tell you that there are two ways to put a circle hook on your line, whether it be mono, braid, anything, whether you're halibut fishing or using circle hooks in general. This is a topic of hot contention. I will let you make the decision for yourself. The first way to put on a circle hook is very easy, just through the eye like that. Second way, some people argue, and I can see that too, I haven't had bad luck either way, is they run the line through the hook so that when you pull on it, it brings the hook, the point in, and gives you a better hook set. And how to do that is you run your line through the front of the eye, around the shank, and back through the front. And what that does is that pulls your circle hook in and can give you a better hook set like that when you pull the line. It's up to you. I will show you both ways of doing it. All right, so when you're crimping, you want to be able to see your line, that's your tag end of your line through your crimp. And you grab your crimpers, and what you're going to do is you're going to use the two divots. I'm trying to make the least amount of tagging as possible. So use the middle, and we'll give you a close-up inside the two divots. And then you don't want to go all the way at the end, but you want to crimp so that the end flares out. You get a nice crimp. And then you want to do that again with the other side of the crimp as well. Alright, then you have a nice, pretty crimped hook. And what I like to do, not necessary, but I like to push this into the jig so it's not showing like this one, but I'm going to keep going. All right, so I said 10 inches and about 13. So let's go put your other crimp through. And then what you're going to need now is your barrel swivel. So 10 inches from eye to eye. So I have from eye to eye. All right, it's not an exact science, but all right, crimp again. All right, and then this is going to be the end that's going to your weight. So I personally like corkscrew swivels because when you get those really heavy snap swivels, they mess with your fingers, especially when you're cold. So corkscrew is super easy. So since I already measured it, I really don't have to, but let's see. So we are at about 14 inches from eye to eye, and that's okay. As long as it's longer than your hook, you are good to go. And there's nothing fancy with this, just thread it right through your swivel and you're good to go. Crimp. All All right, halfway done. You could stop here. You have one hook, this will fish. But you're allowed 2 when you're halibut fishing, so let's make 2. Okay, starting bottom up again. Actually, I'm gonna start from the top this time, excuse me, because I'm going to be attaching it to this, and so I don't have a lot of stuff flinging around. I'm gonna start from the top this time. So, when you get a hoochie, it will not have a hole in it, so you need to make your own. Okay, so through your hoochie, and I'll do the way to do a hook just to show you. So through your crimp, through your hook, through your crimp, making sure that there's just a little bit of tag in there. You don't have to snug it super tight. And now your crimp. Alrighty. It's gonna look so delicious to a halibut. Okay, now crimp again, barrel swivel, 10 inches from eye to eye, or whatever you choose. It's about right there. Make sure. Measure twice, cut once. Oh, we're at 11. Alrighty, there we go. Crimp. All right, almost done. We have the other half. So now we're going to attach that to our piece on the bottom. So crimp first, then your barrel swivel, throw through the crimp, and let me measure just to see where I'm at. From eye to eye, I'm about 15, so I didn't measure twice. So we'll take just a little bit off. We got about an inch there. Awesome, crimping. Now you don't want to crimp too much because you don't want to leave any frays in your line or any, you don't want to cut your metal either. That would leave a potential fray because you don't want to lose a big fish. There's nothing worse than that as far as I'm concerned. All right, now I'll throw a bunch of bait on that and you're good to go. But the point is, again, have fun with it. Use all kinds of crazy stuff. Use scampi tails, use hoochies, use big hoochies, small hoochies. They have squids that you can use. Throw a bunch of bait and a bunch of scent on there and have a good time.